Good evening all. Jim here. I just thought maybe I'd like to show a short video on what it takes to assemble a part for this build. Some may be familiar with card modding techniques and others may not. We're working on the platform, which I've been working on today, so there's lots of different little pieces, so I thought maybe I'd show you the basic procedure on assembling a part. Okay? Yeah, I thought maybe we'd start with the box structure of this particular piece here. The first thing that has to be done is with all the tabs and that, and all the fold parts all have to be scribed. I use a burnishing tool. If I can get this will focus. And it's just basically a metal tool with a ball on the end that allows it to score on the lines to give us our fold lines so that we can get a straight fold line. What you do is take your straight edge, and since this is a box, this is fairly easy to do, and we scribe that way. It's a fairly small piece, so it doesn't take that long. Usually I run a finger over just to make sure I got all the parts. Now these two parts here are also going to be used in this build, and they got some tab here that have to be folded over, so I might as well mark them now while I'm here. Now if you see on these two pieces there's a tab here and tab here, because these are going to be cylinders, that you don't have to scribe that because that's going to go straight fold under as part of the cylinder. The next stage is to cut out. Now for myself, I always like to work clockwise, just a habit. And get my magnifier here so where I can see. And we can't. Okay, my hand's blocking it. We'll see what we can do. Okay. Now we can get a clear view. I start usually running clockwise, and we score the tabs. With the knife. You do the angles first. Work our way around. Since these are glue tabs, you don't have to be totally accurate on your straightness. But it's always good to keep good practice in trying to cut straight lines. Now, since this is a good piece here, gotta make sure that you are cutting a straight line. We'll set that for. The next thing you have to do is for anywhere where there's an exposed card line, that has to be colored. If you don't color it, it's going to show white. So there's different ways you can do it. You can use watercolor paints. Some you know, some use pastels. Myself, I like the I use the art markers myself. And I always mark them from the back going to the front. That way, because you do, every once in a while you'll slip off the line. If you slip and you're going to mark in the back, it's nothing too serious. If you do it on the front, then you got a problem. And that's the only exposed lines. These ones here are fold tabs, and so there's not a big, but these are the only exposed ones. Once that job's done, then you can start folding. I always start with this edge and working this way, and the first one is the glue tab to do. And this is where, when you have it scored, it makes it a lot easier. Once you got that part done, then you can start working along on the edge. I usually like to fold them right over, get a good crease, because then it makes for a nice square edge. If you only do them at 90, and sometimes you just get a rounded edge and not a good square edge. Now, if you didn't score trying to do that, you would end up with just a mess. Okay, so now you're at that particular position. You actually can sort of start gluing that one together. Now, I like to do the main box structure itself first, and that leaves this side, the sides open, so that you can get in and be able to straighten out any lines that don't quite cooperate right. Okay. I always use a toothpick. Just need to get that. It's easier to control the glue. Now, one trick that I have is, in order to get this lined up, is you take the tabs that are on this side and you fold them right over. And when you do that, it'll give you sort of a lock. keep your fingers clean. Don't always cooperate. Then I take a, it's actually a sculpting tool, but it works great for this end anyways. Get in and push the tab down. That also gives you the ability to work the tab out if it's gone down too far. Plus you can always push down on the tab if it's up too far on this side. Once you're at that stage, you have to set it aside and let it dry. Hello. Okay, now it's dried a bit, we can try gluing the ends together. Now try to keep everything a certain way, the way you want the tabs to go with personal preference. You get some glue on the tabs. Now we start to push it. Now the first thing you want to get, in this case, is to get the back square. Because this one's got a bit of a fold in it. So if we get one edge square, then we can shove that part down, get it level, and then we'll get that part in there to get that level. And then we just have to work it to get it shifted. Work it a bit. This glue starts to tack pretty quickly. Yeah, we'll continue gluing on the other side, and we'll just finish off this box. And there we have the box completed.